Hello, my name is Joe Bauer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, in this episode, I'm going to cover what I've done all during the past week. And this is episode 4. And there were a handful of different things that I was keeping in mind all during the week that I needed to understand better and accomplish. And one of those things is, how do I speed up without losing what's important in what I'm doing? How do I just do all this without being disconnected as I speed up? And then also I was thinking about the word gimmick, because Dr. Bankston talks about the gimmick and the plot, and people who have been his students also refer to the gimmick. So I thought, well, the gimmick, that's got to be something that helps it become more playful. So all during the week I was thinking about, how do I become more playful and avoid ritual in all of this? And then also thinking about how it's inevitable that as you speed up cycling these images, it's just inevitable that you're going to lose track of the details of the image at some point. They say that some people cycle at thousands of images per minute. Well, anyone going that fast is certainly not taking each image and bringing it down and observing it explicitly, and then going on to the next one. There's not enough time for that. And in some of Bill Bankston's interviews, he says that he'll say, I've been cycling all throughout this interview. So he's saying that during the interview, while he's answering questions and while he is fully engaged in the conversation, that he is cycling all throughout that period. So if he's doing that, he also cannot be looking at every image as it goes by. So this indicates that at some point you're letting go of the image as you speed up. And then this brings up the question to me, is just how do I know when it's okay to go on? And the notion that I'm really going with for that question is that I figure that as long as I can feel the essence of each thing on the list and what it's like to have it, then it's okay to go ahead and speed up and to go ahead and let go of the image eventually, which has to happen. So, yeah, I just don't see what else could be going on here, really, Anyway, at the beginning of this period, I was going at about 4 full cycles per minute, doing the waltz rhythm, faster than that, and then speaking each, speaking the single word for each one. Which means I think that I'm including the essence of it in the visual image, because I can still see it a little at 4 cycles per minute, and then also by speaking it, then it's an audio experience, and also by speaking it, it's a physical experience. And then if I feel it the right way emotionally, then that is also more of a physical experience, because our emotions are very, very physical. So I figure maybe this is getting into the gimmick of it, but I've got it visually, audio, and kinesthetic all in one there. And then I noticed how it all became kind of a chant, going through this, going da da da, da. I thought, well, maybe the chant could be kind of a gimmick too. And let's see. And then also early in the week, there was one night where I'd been going through this whole thing for about 2 hours, pretty quickly, speaking the little utterance of each item, single word for each item. And then I got to where that could be really on autopilot. It was just going along. And then I started randomly seeing the single images from the list come up and be really clear, and even enough to where I could really feel like I was in the film strip where it's an animated situation where I've already got whatever it is. And I thought, wow, that's really good. It kind of reminded me of, if you've ever seen a wheel spinning really fast, and then you start to see a slow backward, you start to see it going slowly backwards while it's spinning forward really quickly. It's kind of an optical illusion that takes place. It kind of plays off of the lighting and everything, but if you've ever seen a wheel spinning real fast, sometimes you see a slight backwards motion, and that's what this really felt like to me. So I thought that was cool. And then let's see, and then also late in the week, on a final night of this period, I was going along once again. I'd been going at it for a long time, and then my hands were getting tired, so I thought, all right, I don't need to sit there and tap it out anymore. And I'll sit there and I was going, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So and then I started seeing like the single icon, and I thought, well, if I can feel everything on the list in that icon, then I'll just look at the icon while I repeat the word for each thing on the list. So I was repeating a single word for everything on the list while seeing, not seeing the images, but seeing the single icon. And then to make it more playful, then I put that into a figure 8. So it was going, seeing the single icon in a figure 8 while uttering the single word for each one as I go along. And then doing that, I quickly sped up to about 6 repetitions of the entire list in a minute, which is a lot faster. And then I started thinking of other things. I thought, well, if it's got this swinging back and forth feel, then maybe next time, to be a little more gimmicky, then maybe I could imagine that I'm on a skateboard, like racing downhill, just going, kind of doing it that way, because you're supposed to change it all the time and avoid ritual. Anyway, that's about where the week ended up. Let me go over, as a quick summary. I went from 4 cycles a minute up to 6 cycles a minute. I went from not being very playful to having the playfulness and avoiding ritual and the gimmick all kind of unfolding. And I felt like at the end of this period, I felt like I was really starting to, just within a couple hours, I felt like I really gained a lot. I really had a pretty good breakthrough in my fluency of how to do all of this and how to make changes in it and still feel like I was really doing it the way that I should. And so I'm pretty satisfied with the week, and that is spending for that period. That's spending at least 3 hours a day, over 20 hours for the week, of doing this very directly. That doesn't include time that I might stop to watch videos that other people have put up or anything else. Maybe you're writing down notes. That's doing this one thing directly, 3 hours during the day. Usually at about an hour to 2 hours at a time. After a couple of hours, I'm kind of worn out. It still kind of wears me out to do it, but I can do it for longer periods of time. And so then in this upcoming week, then what I hope to gain is far more fluency, so that it can become something that's really on autopilot a lot more. All right. So that's it. And I want to thank you for watching this update. And y'all take care. And may you see clearly in 2020. Goodbye.